Macam maybe zaman aku macam probably you have like the more underground or the party. Sekarang kita ada the patah hati, the bragging lagu kita ada macam-macam lauk. Sekarang dalam rap scene lah.
Dalam hidup memang akan kena uji.
Sup, aku Adli. Welcome to another episode of Korek Physical. And hari ni aku bersama dengan Saf.
Terima kasih, bro. Sihat
Right.
Boleh tak jumpa?
Yeah.
Out of space, who's my real enemy?
What's new?
Sekarang aku working on few projects for producing for other people, of course, and also doing some engineering works for several artists juga, mastering, mixing on the belakang tabir lah. But for my own, I have new songs and set to release this year.
New song as in like just song or full a collection of EP ke, album ke?
Several singles and maybe an EP this year. Tak ada lah, macam last year was like 14 songs. So ni maybe like 3-track EP.
Yeah, speaking of last year, we never actually get to speak about that. I mean, like, what led to that? The whole presentation, audio, visual, sonically, apa semua tu?
Aku because I wanted to do a project yang macam different than what I was doing with my group SSK. You know, we all went through the lockdown, and in lockdown I had a lot of time in isolation, like alone lah kan. Aku banyak like dive into like benda-benda movie, sci-fi and everything. I'm a fan of sci-fi movies and everything, tapi cuma aku lebih ke arah space semua. So aku banyak layan movie. So I wanted to do something different than what I was doing before.
So album tu technically is a benchmark tau. I mean, how are you going to pick up where you left? Tu daunting tu.
Betul. Dia sebenarnya dia macam, aku dah ada macam like storyline dalam kepala aku lah. Dia macam like, because the first album dia macam the concept of a man who went into isolation. Dia macam pergi outer space, and then dia macam like return back to earth, telling all these stories. Dia banyak macam my inner conversation and everything dalam kepala aku. But after that dia akan pergi balik ke angkasa lepas, and dia ada dia punya sambungan lah, which is this year.
Kau sebut apa SSK, right? I mean, what is there anything new with SSK? Development ke apa ke benda ke?
New SSK so far aku rasa tak ada langsung. Sebab like Jokiller, our DJ, and NBE diorang busy doing other non-music stuff. So aku je yang like continue doing music all this while. Maybe not for me, but I did for Amandra before this and everything. So we kind of like ada sembang nak buat balik and everything, but maybe we need to vibe again lah. Tapi so far tak ada new song in plan ke, tak ada.
Tak ada lah. So I mean the new stuff that you're working on, how different? I mean what can people expect?
I want to do something more massive sounding, like besar, ambient, space-y punya sound. Sebab aku memang produce and compose sendiri, and vibe tu masih continue apa yang dalam aku buat dalam album aku yang last year, Nisbah Cinematic Resolusi Penuh. But itu still continue, but maybe dia ada continuation dia lagi lah kan.
Cakap pasal stories, right? I mean like as an MC, right? Difficult it is lah. Kadang-kadang dalam kepala kita we have that stories. Is it difficult to nak project apa yang dalam kepala kita tu? I mean especially as an MC lah. How much of evaluation macam okay, this is my story, and then how can ada tak dia punya pemikiran macam how can my story ni resonate dengan orang yang dengar?
That one of course lah. I mean like kalau kau pusing-pusing balik, like manusia ni problem dia semua sama kan, lebih kurang kan. The root cause lah kan. So aku rasa macam like my own stories, maybe somebody out there can relate to. Like last time like SSK we did a lot of rapping about rap. Kau faham tak? Macam all the braggadocio, oh aku paling power. So maybe like now I wanna tell stories of a man yang macam dia kalah, lepas tu dia macam cari jalan nak naik balik, jumpa Tuhan and bring himself back up, macam aku buat dalam Matahari last album. So maybe I want to explore that part of me. Sebab aku dah macam, masa aku buat SSK umur aku 20 lebih kan, sekarang aku dah 35. So macam dah tua sikit, dah ada
kau dah tua,
mature yeah. Tua.
Okay. Lepas ni kita akan sembang lagi, kita akan tanya Saf benda-benda yang related to dia punya first. Okay, Sam, kita dah sembang pasal what's new with you. Now let's talk about your first piece of music yang kau dengar, yang melekat, yang buat macam, oh fuck, that revelation punya moment. Kau ingat?
Aku dengar kaset mak aku. This artist, female artist named Carole King. Aku tak tahu nak panggil dia music apa. Dia macam slow rock or like
Carole King, dia
lagu So Far Away, so very dreamy. Ya, aku banyak layan kaset tu lah. Pasal like those are one of the cassettes yang ada lying around. So macam
that one tu. The first cassette yang kau beli?
First kaset yang aku beli aku rasa Water Lily kot.
Water Lily Serius ah?
Sebab Water Lily keluar masa
99.
So macam, tapi aku tak beli tahun tu, aku beli masa aku dah form 1.
Oh, okay.
Aku 13. So that was the first cassette ever.
Kenapa kau nak beli Water Lily tadi?
Sebab time tu like everybody 2001 everybody was like on hip hop. Aku macam apa benda ni kan. Macam layan lah kan. Sebab it's everywhere. Time tu mana ada internet semua. So
tapi yang ada that lasting impact on you, hip hop song, lagu apa? Yang buat macam, fuck, I want to do this.
aku dengar rap tak ingat Six Siders.
Message for the masses.
Masa tu aku tak, but I don't know anything about Message for the Masses, but aku nampak Six Siders dekat TV. Dia ada some random interview, ada Zarim, ada ada one random interview, aku tak tahu show apa. Some music show yang interview Belia or something. On TV of course lah, dia tak play the whole thing kan, dia cakap sarut semua kan. So dengar sikit and then I was into hip hop forums online back then. Because aku macam membesar macam di hujung era MIRC. So macam orang dah start to get on Yahoo Messenger and MSN Messenger. So like I spend a lot of time at the Saber Cafe dulu masa sekolah menengah. So macam we were lurking in hip hop forum lah. So ada satu website tu lah, dia macam hosting. Dia macam SoundCloud.
SoundClick. Okay.
So aku dengar rap tak ingat kat situ and then started to know the local underground pula. After knowing like, you know, the mainstream ones like Poetic M or Too Fat.
Apa yang attract kau to the scene, maksud tu, the underground scene?
Until tu dia, kalau orang ramai macam artis tu macam orang tak tahu kan. Macam ataupun tak ramai, so aku suka layan. So bila dia dah famous, aku macam dah turn off sikit. So aku banyak benda macam tu. So bila aku discover macam, ni apa, rap ganas ni kan. So macam after that aku layan the US, American punya acts macam Jedi Mind Trick semua. So memang cerita pasal stabbing people, tapi like in the bars lah kan. After that baru aku macam nak tulis lah, nak try. Aku pernah buat satu lagu pakai beat fun. I'm not a player but I beat a lot. That song, yeah. So lagu tu kita macam ambil that beat. Aku tak tahu macam mana kawan aku agak to know this guy named G. And then baru dapat tahu dia duduk dekat dengan aku duduk Ampang, dia duduk Setiawangsa. So masa tu dia dengan 542. From there on aku record lagu tu sebab dia ajar aku, time tu aku 15 so dia datang rumah aku, dia install software FL Studio dengan Cool Edit sebelum dia jadi Adobe Audition sekarang. Sebelum Adobe beli, it was Cool Edit. Dulu kan ada CD Pirate yang macam 100 music software.
Yeah.
Kau macam tak tahu benda, kau install je semua benda kan. From there aku record sendiri pakai the PC mic. Before that aku record pakai cassette.
Direct.
So aku pakai dua player. Satu untuk main music, aku dekatkan mic dia. So macam lagi satu ni untuk record. So dulu aku ada cassette Westlife ke apa entah. So aku record over Westlife punya cassette. Tapi beat tu aku dapat daripada Plan B. Too Fat kan ada interlude. All the beats only kan.
Yes.
So aku just record macam time tu first time lah. Dia macam, wih suara aku macam ni. Tapi kau pakai dua radio lah.
Faham.
After kenal 542, baru aku macam, oh my god, dia buat lagu Syahidu. So time tu macam, there's an alternative to this Malay rap. Kau boleh rap pasar sebenarnya kan. So macam masa tu you can listen to Alif Fikir, Too Fat, doing all the baku rap. Tapi dia orang macam alternatif. So macam that's why aku suka rap tak ingat juga. Sebab dia memang bahasa pasar, dia macam ni macam hari-hari aku sembang. So macam more inclined towards that. After that, like lepak dengan 542, join 542. Then on, aku suka rap pasar. Macam mana hari-hari kita sembang kan.
Were you a solo act first masa tu?
Solo first, lepas tu jumpa 542, join 542. Lepas tu keluar daripada 542 sebab time tu some of the members memang busy join tablik.
Okay.
Real talk aku cakap, John tablik? Okay, tak apa, teruskan. So macam aku pun macam tergapai-gapai macam nak buat dengan siapa kan. Tapi time tu sebab dah kenal apa tu dah kenal Rebel Scum. So banyak lepak dengan Words Manifest lah.
Dengan Wan lah. Okay, so macam
after that baru SSK.
So meaning SSK was formed after engkau be part of Rebel.
Wan yang suruh.
Wan yang suruh. Serius lah?
Wah macam kau dengan MB buat group lah.
Oh ya?
Macam okay. Lepas lagu Bak Datang.
Oh.
It's not before, it's after.
Lepas Bak Datang.
Korang buat group lah. Aku cakap, okay lah, boleh juga lah. Tak boleh terfikir.
Okay.
So that's why. And then Joe came into the picture later on lah.
So kau punya first music crush siapa?
Music crush?
Awet yang kau macam,
Camelia tu.
Yeah?
Yeah, for real. Time tu high school kan. So listening to Camelia punya lagu with Terry Lee. I think. And then dia keluar dekat like TV and everything, the music video kan.
The first song kau recorded with recorded and actually put it out there.
Like do you consider like putting on like SoundClick?
SoundClick ke?
Dulu macam kat SoundClick was that song lah yang aku record dengan G542.
Itulah.
Apa dia? You are my everything. So that was one of the first song, and then after that baru ada start berjinak-jinak record sendiri, and then after that bila pergi ke studio Rebel Scum, mostly banyak record dengan SSK lah after that.
Yeah. So how was like Rebel Scum tu? Macam mana dia orang operate? I mean like to those yang yelah sebab korang technically very closely knit, yang kalau orang macam you're not part of it, you won't know much about the working on, you know.
Sebab aku macam sebenarnya dengan Rebel Scum pun aku sebenarnya macam langgar agak sebab diorang time tu diorang ada prior to knowing 542, aku ada pergi diorang punya album launch dekat Tower Records kat LCC.
Yang Urban Disdays tu?
Yes. So time tu Yanis manager diorang. Yes, I remember. So Yanis there. So masa tu memang terus buat muka tebal je lah. Dia macam lepas diorang habis show, ikut diorang pergi like lepak, pergi makan kat Burger King kat KLCC. So macam main langgar je. Lepas tu after that, online diorang ada forum, Rebel Scum forum. So macam banyak kat situ lah. And then MSN Messenger, you know, you connect with. Then after that, I got to know several other people. And then masa buat Rogue Squadron lah, baru kenal Jin, Youngshen dan orang-orang yang lain lah.
So macam bila Wan suruh suruh kau work with Saf to, you know, to form SSK, how did the name came about?
Sebenarnya tak ada idea. Kita on MSN Messenger kita macam I was more on the serious one. And dia yang mamat yang macam slumber on the bars. So dia macam serious slumber crew. Dia macam time tu macam cringe lah, tapi macam tak apa lah, kita jalan je lah dulu. Dulu started with serious slumber crew, and then kita pendekkan jadi abbreviation lah, jadi SSK.
SSK,
SS crew.
So memang masa tu memang the intention memang nak rap in Malay lah? Ke?
Memang nak rap in Malay and very witty and do differently than other people.
The first song you guys recorded SSK?
First song is SSK, aku rasa from the EP Possessive MC, I think that was the first song. Beat aku bersepah siut beat tu. Don't like that beat anymore. Aku dengar balik macam apa benda aku buat ni macam kau main letak je kan. But that was the learning process lah kan.
So but that EP somewhat like macam put you guys on a pedestal kan. Album tu ke yang korang perform kat music? No. Dalam tu kan aku tak famous lagu kan?
Music, yes. ATFL masuk music.
How's that? Gila babi ke
benda
macam?
Tu macam random lah sebenarnya, tak ada plan pun masa nak buat EP tu macam kita kena hantar lagu kat music, kita kena masuk AIM, AJL ke apa, tak pernah. Dia macam kita budak-budak, kita nak buat benda yang macam time tu macam rap school kan. Even though masa aku start SSK tu, everybody was already on the indie scene. Orang macam tengah gila indie rock kan. Aku yang gila pergi buat music rap time tu. Lagu yang masuk music tu pun aku tak ingat macam mana. Dapat kontak daripada producer music, dia macam kita nak masukkan lagu ni. Kita macam okay. Lepas tu Noh pun cakap biar Hujan main lah untuk korang. So aku cakap okay boleh lah, kalau tak kita makan -1 je kan. So time tu jalan je. Kita pun tak tahu macam nak ada expectation kita dah masuk music boleh sampai ke AJL. Tak ada lah, dia macam kita buat satu benda tu macam time tu just layan lah, sebab kita macam tak ada lah, macam ada orang sit us down and macam bro you have to have this in the music industry, this, tak ada, tak pernah. Kita macam benda opportunity datang sebab tak ada macam proper guidance semua, sebab kita memang jalan memang underground, main langgar je. So music pun kita macam kena, tak ada fikir macam kena ke dengan konsep ke, kena ke dengan this outlook of like rapper underground ke, tak ada. Kita macam boleh lah kita buat je, mampus lah.
I think kalau tak salah, if I get my facts wrong, you guys were the first lah kot underground hip hop group yang actually ada.
Sebelum tu
mana
takkan tak ada.
Tak ada. Your generation, masa zaman korang tu, TRS, zaman-zaman tu, that was the technically the embryonic phase. Kalau ada pun 95 dulu zaman Naughty Max. Itu pun underground. Tapi Naughty Max
Tak boleh keluar TV. Faham?
Ya, technically.
Aku tak sedar. Tapi tu aku cakap masa dekat SSK tu dia macam on automatic lah. Dia macam kita buat je. One pun macam korang buat lah. Dia je lah macam yang selalu jalan dengan kita orang kan.
Momen mana yang kau rasa macam orang dah start perasan kita buat apa lah? Kau ingat momen tu? Yelah macam dalam lagu kan Aku Tak Famous Lagi kan. Ada tak momen tu kau you went through that phase?
Kalau dulu macam pergi show, kita pergi gig hip hop kan. So macam we know almost everybody, circle sama kan. Tapi lepas tu bila kita ambil show-show yang macam Hot FM dekat Tingso, Big Jam kat Penang. Time tu SSK lah, kita macam ada entah siapa yang tegur kita orang dekat show tu after show kan. That time Twitter pun baru nak start kot rasanya.
Awal lah.
2009 2010 was the show. So time tu macam kita tak ada cara macam nak hebahkan macam kita kat Penang, come through. Macam sekarang boleh post IG story. Time tu macam ada orang random yang macam SSK nak beli CD gitu time tu kan. Time tu baru macam orang tahu lah sebenarnya. Before that tak ada lah, macam kita dalam circle biasa lah, macam member lah kan. But that was the point lah, that gig lah.
After the EP tu, Bintang RTM.
Bintang Bintang rap tanah Malaysia. Faris lah, dia macam push, dia macam kita kena drop album. Sebab kita dah buat EP, ada 5 lagu. So kita kena buat a full length album, lagu banyak. Proses tu kita orang record semua benda tu, time tu kita macam tak ada duit sangat. So dapat show sikit-sikit, so macam kita ada beberapa K. So kita bayar mic reka Zarim, so every week. Sebab time tu macam aku tengah college lagi time tu. Faris dah kerja, Joe rasanya dah kerja kak. So kita orang selalu pergi Kajang, pergi rumah dia record lah. So do things on the weekend. So dalam a year macam tu siap lah album tu. Again macam EP tu kita orang tak ada expect yang macam ni kita kena hantar muzik-muzik ke apa. Yang tu pun konsep album kak, sebab dia macam show Bintang RTM kan. Banyak lagu tu macam Faris NBE yang said kita kena buat lagu macam ni. Lepas tu aku pula bagi idea aku. Time tu aku lebih belajar lagi buat beat lah time tu. More on the production side. More than 5 songs beat aku lah. Proses album tu lama ke time tu. Setahun ke buat benda tu. Only on the weekend. But lagu sebab album tu dapat tercalon AIM. Best Hip Hop Song AM tahun berapa lah. Tercalon je lah, tak menang. Nominasi. Sebab time tu, Malik ada 2 lagu dalam kategori tu. Tak silap dia ada 2 lagu. Ke 1 lagu, something like that lah. Yeah. And then I had that song, Tenang Sayang, yang tercalon dengan a song that I produced for Miss Nina, Just You and Me, also tercalon juga. That same AIM. But we didn't win lah, Malik menang.
Speaking of it, kau consider yourself more as a producer ke or as an MC? If you were to choose?
Aku rasa both lah. Tak boleh berpisah.
Tak boleh berpisah.
Since the lockdown, asyik duduk rumah, terperuk, isolation kan. So aku dah more inclined of macam aku nak kena ada sound aku sendiri. Tapi aku banyak je buat macam collaboration dengan orang lain. Macam 2021, aku rasa aku tak draw lagu, aku collaborate dengan semua orang dalam scene lah. Bukan semua orang lah, but a lot of people lah kan. But nak pilih satu, tak boleh lah.
Tak boleh
Tak boleh lah. Sometimes I write first, sometimes I make the beat first. Tapi aku punya automatic and default mode aku sekarang memang buat beat lah. I wouldn't like I wanna write today, tak ada lah. Usually like beats.
So meaning bila kau dah start buat beats tu, meaning like ada tak anyone in particular yang kau rasa I want him to, to...
Ada, always selalu macam kau apa dah buat tu kau dah nampak lah who you want to give to, or if it's for you, who should you put inside. Sebab hip hop banyak collaboration kan. Aku layan proses tu lah sebenarnya.
So on top of your own songs, right, ada tak macam yang kau compose untuk orang lain yang kau rasa macam really proud? Bukan proud is not the word. Kau macam
puas. Fulfillment tu tinggi.
Yeah.
Fulfillment tu tinggi aku rasa when I work a lot for this artist named Dinyo. from City Boys. Dia ada rap group dia sendiri. Tapi this is one kid from Ampang lah, masa umur dia 19, dia roger aku. And then started to be in the studio with me. And aku banyak buat macam the first few EP dia memang fully produced by me, mix, master and everything. So macam the whole, most of the things yang dalam katalog dia, pasal ada 1 tahun tu gila ke dia release 2 EP, 1 album dalam 1 tahun. Aku berpuas hati dan fulfillment tinggi sebab macam aku dengan dia macam, aku tengah buat beat, dia dekat belakang, aku halfway buat beat, dia dah siap tulis. So kita somehow jumpa that chemistry lah. Untuk dia pula, dia macam, oh beat kau macam mana Asif, dia dengar. Tapi aku tahu dia memang tak pernah rap on beat saya, tapi dia langgar So macam dengan dia aku banyak dapat eksperimen and I get to improve a lot lah masa aku work on several of his projects lah. So Dinyo, this artist, should check it out lah.
Tak baru lah?
Tak ada baru sangat, dia first release pun 2019, 2021. Tapi baru lah tu baru
lah. Speaking of budak baru, right? What's your take on the current hip-hop scene, Malaysian hip-hop scene?
Aku rasa meriah.
Yeah.
Ada macam-macam jenis artis, ada macam-macam jenis sound. Macam maybe zaman aku macam, probably you have like the more underground or the party. Sekarang kita ada the patah hati, the fuckboy, the player punya lagu, the cintan punya lagu, the gangster punya lagu, the bragging punya lagu. Kita ada macam-macam lauk sekarang dalam rap scene.
Kalau if you were to name like 3 good young MCs kat Malaysia ni, siapa?
Young MCs.
3.
Aku suka Dinyo. I like this guy. Tapi dia bukan MC, dia macam R&B. Tapi dia ada rap juga. Tapi boleh lah. This guy ni Apek FLP. Aku lain Shadow. Lepas tu Mamat yang apa? Aku ikan, kau kena pancing. Kau tahu video viral tu?
Tak.
Dia ada rap battle, lepas tu dia macam tersasul. So macam orang viral bahan dia gila babi.
Few years back, right?
Bro, dia dah improve bro.
Yeah.
Dia dah step up bro. Dia dah level up. Lagu dia sekarang sedap bro.
Serius
Aku lain dia sekarang.
Ini yang dia macam gaduh kat parking lot. Dia macam battle kat parking lot kan?
Parking lot, Dia Mamat tu dah improve.
Serius
Lagu-lagu dia lain lah. Shadow.
Kalau if you were to rank like all time top 3 Malaysian MC,
Time
susah tau.
Words Manifest.
Number 1
MC Joe Flizzy. Another one, dia bukan siapa tak tahu, dia siapa susah nak pilih. Aku nak cakap Ultimate, tapi dia macam, aku nak cakap Aman ke, aku rasa Aman lah. Aman lah. Aku rasa dia macam deep into writing. I like that.
So Words Manifest,
Joe Flizzy and Aman Ra.
Saya cerita sikit. Macam how did that came about? So Manggis is
Sudin
Uze
Sawal, which is like he's the owner of Phono right now. And me and NBE. Lagu tu sebenarnya kita orang pergi rumah sewa. Dia memang dah ada hook tu.
Okay.
So benda tu memang beat dia, hook masa kita dengar tu memang hook dia dah ada. Kita macam madu siap ni, it's never been said that way. It's never been sung that way. So kita macam ni, lagu ni time tu muda lagi lah. Kita tak fikir macam ada backlash ke, like one day what if my daughter would listen to this. Sekarang aku macam cuak lah dia discover that song kan. Because I already took it down but somebody uploaded it. But at that point in time dia macam SSK was macam aku cakap dia macam langgar je. Kita nak buat benda yang orang lain tak nak buat. Rap pasar, everybody rap baku, kita rap pasar. Semua orang indie rock, kita hip hop. Lagu tu jadi dengan macam tu lah, sebab kita dengar macam sedap lah. Tapi dia kata dia tak di-release nama dia kan. So macam kita letak Manggis lah, and then we just drop it like that lah.
But it's a good song. Catchy nak mampus tu.
Menyesal. Menyesal lagu tu, macam carut kan.
Menyesal? Asal lah?
Dia pernah come up in a search that I got denied a client job.
Oh really?
Wow. So macam dia ada lagu ni macam tak kena. Sebab dia orang did the search on YouTube kan. Kita orang dah take down lah, tapi ada orang re-upload. Sebab orang suka. So macam biarlah, tak ada buat apa lah.
Macam tu
Ada. Because they will search about you and stuff.
Faham.
Tapi menyesal sebab tu je lah. Tapi macam in the name of being expressive, aku tak menyesal. Sebab that was me then. So macam ni, kau dengar album sekarang, that's me now. So macam mana ada orang macam sama je static kan.
Betul.
So that was me, the young me.
Ada tak macam kau macam apa, somewhat starstruck bila kau jumpa local artist? dulu lah masa budak-budak yang macam aku jumpa, oh fuck, aku jumpa Dini sial.
Ada masa aku pergi Teh Tarik Crew punya album launch. Aku jumpa Miss Nina, aku macam Miss Nina siut. Sebab time tu macam female rapper macam berapa ketul je.
Dia je lah kot.
Dia kalau ada yang Cortezan and the apa nama grup tu? Muchachas.
Muchachas. Tapi tu
Then
later
tu ada
kan.
Lady D. Lady D banyak nyanyi lah. Tapi time tu lah dia macam, Miss Nina siut. Aku suruh dia sign kat atas cap aku.
Serius lah?
Cap
Simpan lagi
bagian. Tak, cap dah buang lah, dah berkulat lah bro. Rabak lah cap tu. Tapi that was the first time aku macam start jumpa Teh Tarik Crew. So aku macam pergi dia orang punya album launch lah. Masa Rebels Cup tak ada sebab dia orang macam ganas-ganas, dia orang macam relax kan. Tapi time tu macam, Teh Tarik Crew siap. Swag. But until today, I've never watched Too Fat perform live. Tak pernah.
Serius lah?
Sebab zaman Too Fat tu aku sekolah lagi.
Oh.
Yeah. So macam aku form 1, form 2.
So tengok kat YouTube je?
Mana YouTube tu, tengok TV lah.
Kan, sekarang kalau nak tengok kat YouTube je lah.
Ya.
Dia lain macam to be honest.
Apa dia?
Too Fat punya live show. Sebab ada this, I think I shared this story before. Masa aku interview Ultimate ke apa. Too Fat dengan TTC, kita ada buat event tau. So the event tu ada Butters, Coffin aku tak ingat lah. Semua mainly rock tau. So dia ada 3 je hip hop act. Too Fat, TTC dengan Flowtron. How diorang won over kau tahu lah budak-budak indie kan, bila hip hop dia punya reception lain macam.
Lain sikit.
But how they won over, walaupun diorang hip hop, they perform, kau tak rasa macam you're watching a hip hop show. They were like rock. Dia amat siap stage dive kot.
Correct lah.
Yeah, so macam
Havoc lah.
So meaning Too Fat punya live shows at their prime
gila. Tapi sekarang like the equivalent kalau kau tengok macam orang-orang macam Chronicles kan. Dia punya live show crazy siap. Budak-budak macam gila siap.
Serius lah? Budak-budak sekarang suka macam mana? Budak-budak
sekarang suka moshing.
Moshing
rap, yes.
Like moshing macam kat rock gig tu?
Yes. Like legit. Aku pun macam, benda ni start 2018 sebenarnya aku nampak. 2018 aku macam ada a few shows yang aku buat macam, orang budak nak moshing siut. Ada seorang aku buat satu show Nico G dengan dia Nico G is the main act. Mamat tu macam berdarah tangan dia macam motion, aku macam gila babi lah.
Serius
time tu aku macam sekarang memang orang motion kan. It started all because of the Travis Scott and the tengok benda-benda sana kan.
Faham.
Everybody just want to wild out lah. Kalau macam dulu zaman kita macam baik kan, macam kau hit not boom bap.
Okay, lepas ni kita akan suruh Sah korek tengok apa yang berkenan di hati, dan kita korek lagi cerita from his side. Anything interesting so far?
So far, aku jumpa ni lah, T.I. I've never seen this. Like, Jazzy Far lama tak dengar dia produce.
Kalau international lah, tak tanya pun. International who are the one that you look up to, yang macam kau boleh vibe with?
Kanye, yes. From the older projects. Because masa dia release semua benda tu, I was in high school kan, like late registration and
College
dropout, yes.
Graduation.
Yeah, lagu All Falls Down and everything. So a lot of production wise pun aku banyak refer juga lah how Kanye sample, except for selain daripada DJ Premier and the other producers, but a lot of Kanye lah actually.
Kanye
All the high pitch, best lah.
Sampai Donda, even Donda pun.
Until today aku rasa aku layan semua projek lah.
Serius
Yeah, even with all the things that he said.
T.I, any stories?
T.I sebenarnya tak layan sangat lah, sebab aku rasa masa zaman T.I was into the underground, Jedi Mind Tricks. Aku masa tu was like that
Company Flow.
But on the mainstream side, probably I listen to stuff like Kanye, Eminem a little bit, Dr. Dre ke apa kan. But like T.I ke, like the likes back then, like Chingy ke apa ke, tak ada.
Chingy saya lama bro. Tak dengar, saya writer.
Tapi zaman tu memang tak, aku memang betul-betul
Underground ni style.
Underground ni memang tak boleh lah, dia legit lah. Dia true, terlebih true time tu.
Terlebih true time tu
Sekarang dah tak kisah, dia macam whatever. Yo, this. Never mind. Aku tak pernah tengok vinyl dia, tapi dulu uncle aku ada kaset So ada kaset kot. So macam aku ada dengar a few songs. Masa tu baru aku dengar like all the Lithium and Smell Like Teen Spirit. Memang tak ada macam aku macam I'm a fan of Nirvana ke apa, tak ada lah. But that time zaman sekolah macam orang selalu sebut the heroes lah, macam Kurt Cobain, grunge. Masa aku 14 lah, banyak budak grunge kan. Tapi uncle aku dapat dengar Nirvana sebab uncle aku ada.
Ni ikonik lah. I mean, uncle kau how old?
Sekarang dia dah 60 lah.
So zaman tu this was like 30
Dulu dia main band kat, tapi band kawan-kawan lah. Dia tak ada like put out music apa, tak ada. Even mak aku dulu pun main bass.
Yeah.
Tapi kawan-kawan punya band.
So music is in the family lah, runs in the family lah.
Runs in the family but never taught. Sebab aku sendiri pun memang self-taught, ajar sendiri buat like beats and everything, memang self-taught lah. Okay, Fort Minor. Fort Minor crazy sebab dulu like sebelum aku, like dia ada masa at the point of time masa 542 to SSK, aku ada kenal this one guy named Khairi. He was in the underground scene jugalah, in the hip hop forums and everything. That time kita orang terlayan Fort Minor, so we had it was for a short while we wanted to make a group called Ill Minority. But music like that, like industrial hip hop stuff. But we tried lah, tapi we didn't release anything lah. It was just like record tapi macam simpan je. But
kenapa tak
industrial drums, tak tahu time tu macam tak sure macam ni sedap ke tak sedap kan. Yeah. But yeah, that was the time yang aku start eksperimen guna-guna sound-sound yang memang hip hop tak pakai. All the reverb snare, all the weird noise. But because of Fort Minor ke lah, Linkin Park, Fort Minor, Mike Shinoda.
Kau layan tak psychedelic music 60s punya tu?
Probably I would listen to playlist but I don't have a particular artist yang memang aku layan. Tapi sebab aku memang suka dengar different playlist.
Sebab kalau kau cakap main Sonic right? Zaman era-era tu dia banyak Sonic.
Tapi masa aku 20s aku layan band-band macam The XX. Macam very, tak tahu, reverb-ish, space-ish. So maybe from there juga aku boleh.
Kau try Joe Meek tu. Ada this guy nama dia Joe Meek. Orang semua kata dia gila tau.
Joe Meek, okay.
Sebab dia buat, kau tahu Kamal Sabran right?
No.
Kamal Sabran ni ada musician. Dia macam Joe Meek Malaysia. Joe Meek ni dia memang main
Apa nama dia? Joe Meek.
J-O-E
Sorry, aku memang nak save terus dalam Spotify.
M-E-E-K. Yeah, some people consider dia punya music
screenshot dia.
sampah.
Faham?
Tapi dia, I think he was ahead of its time lah when it comes to, especially when it comes to Sonic.
He got me already. It's like dia punya, it's like on the moon, all this space stuff, man. I like all this weird stuff. Yo, wah, yang ni real. Aku ada kaset, tapi aku tak ada vinyl. First time aku tengok vinyl dia. Tapi aku ada kaset dia.
Ni release tahun lepas kalau tak salah ke 2 years ago. On vinyl.
Serius? Siapa yang print?
Ni apa? Universal. Universal. Dengan PMP PMP.
Ini before dia tak pernah ada vinyl?
Tak pernah. Ada lah.
Kaset CD ada?
Legend. CD ada lah. Dia ada reissue CD. But I think vinyl, this was the first time ever on vinyl lah. Apart from zaman dulu, kalau aku tak salah lah, according to legends, diorang ada vinyl which they give to Japanese punya as promo apa semua. Tapi I'm not sure
Japanese version ke
for Japanese punya market. I'm not too sure whether it's a full album or not. Tapi I have to say, sound on vinyl, this one this release, kau boleh, it's like listening to a new album. Surprisingly, so banyak sound yang on CD or cassette kau maybe tak perasan terlepas dengar, tapi on vinyl semua keluar steam.
Tapi dulu fire tu Liana
Lil Boogie.
Suara dia sedap bro. Bomo, yes. Bomo was the diss track, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. From here juga sebenarnya aku tahu macam Innuendo, macam ada group R&B.
Sebenarnya kalau kau tengok balik local lah. Kalau macam Tupac was the first local hip hop act yang dia bawa dia punya crew tau. Dia feature
budak-budak dia.
Bukan budak-budak dia, meaning like underground cats yang maybe macam cakap lah. Because of them, orang kenal Innuendo. Ini kalau kau tengok second album, The Joint. Second album VE.
Yes.
Yeah, so they have that thing yang macam,
and then Rebel Into Reality dia ada bawa budak KLG Squad.
Yes.
Yeah.
So meaning it's good lah to me lah, macam using their status where they had to bring up this.
It's always like that. That's where I learn juga macam like ada je macam budak-budak baru sekarang macam like approach me, wanna do stuff together. Macam I remember Ultimate say sebab macam masa dulu Ultimate was my publisher. So dia Purple Note, so dia yang got me to register MACP. So dia always cakap aku macam aku cakap thank you for whatever lah. Dia tolong aku ke, dia bagi advice ke whatever ke. He always say like pay it forward lah. So now like young cats ke apa yang datang memang like that's the move lah bro, because sebab yang betul-betul datang show sebenarnya budak-budak. So kita kena like always be in touch with the younger generation. Kalau kau tengok macam like if you see even Kanye pun macam kau tengok dalam project dia macam dia ada banyak newer people, but that's the move lah bro. Sebab
kalau
tak
back to your community,
kalau tak aku macam aku rasa aku akan jadi macam aku keluar album baru bunyi macam SSK lagi. So macam tak relevan lah.
Faham.
So macam like young generation lah, the new cats tu yang paling penting lah. That's why Too Fat pun buat.
Sama lah how kita absorb from our kids.
Betul.
Kan?
Yeah, your kids teach you more than you teach them for real.
Yeah.
Itu memang facts lah. Dulu masa aku nak sample, like I used to go to MCOT Mall and buy vinyl to sample. So macam aku mostly macam aku akan pergi for the unknown ones yang aku memang tak tahu ni siapa. Tapi aku macam masa crate digging tu macam you always like get a feel of the rupa tau. Tapi balik macam ada fire sample, confirm ni. Sebab aku pun design aku punya album cover kan, semua sendiri kan. Aku tak ada pergi belajar tapi macam kita semua macam SSK punya mentality lah, langgar je buat.
Langgar je lah. But it works. Kat sini some of the vintage tau, local CDs.
Yo, yang ni kalau siapa-siapa layan rap Malaysia kena dengar ni dulu. Kalau kau tengok mana track nombor 2, Revolution, track number 2, AOI featuring Science. AOI was MC David.
Oh yeah ke?
Yeah, MC David who Def Jam, Universal David.
Oh, he was known as AOI.
Yeah, dia dengan Bobby. Kau ingat like few masa COVID ada mamat yang mengamuk beli nasi lemak yang macam Cindin tu kan. Bobby.
Oh yeah.
That's him. He's a better rapper.
Oh.
So dia daripada dulu dia memang like that. Dia memang kecoh sikit kan. But dia dengan David dulu had a group AOI, and this was one of the song yang macam aku dengar macam dia, Bobby and David was very technical on the lyrics yang macam dia memang lipat kau lah with the wordplays, with the multiple syllable rhyming. So I learned a lot from this project of rapping in general lah, bukan macam like music style ke apa, but technically writing raps was this for real. Malaysian Fusion X2.
The Basement lah.
Basement Forum.
Kugen kan?
Kugen, yes, Basement Forum. I was on Basement Forum juga, tapi aku more on a observer. Aku tak battle sebab dalam tu macam heavyweight bro. You got Ultimate inside there, you got like who's that guy from KLG Squad? Arif was there. Jane was there, like Budak Flow Fam. Before that, Nakib, Sela, Words Manifest, HQA was there.
Dia ada album yang was
Indonesia Basikal.
Underrated.
Dia Basikal dia release dengan Kartel.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
But that was macam betul-betul under the radar gila babi. If you know, you know.
Because that time was the orang tengah slow down on listening to hip hop. Dia tengah transition to the indie rock. Sebab aku ingat lagi, aku pergi dia punya album launch dekat Heritage Mansion dekat Dorasami. Lepas Too Fat punya phase, I think. It was the lepas Too Fat ada Kartel.
Towards the end of Too Fat.
Yeah, something like that. Not towards the end of Too Fat, not Too Fat never ending, I don't know. But masa zaman tu memang aku rasa tengah transition, orang tengah tak really into rap music. Tapi time tu yang baru aku start, album power bro. Memang properly produced, mix master sedap, bars memang confirm ada bars because he's a very lyrical guy. It was very raw.
Nowadays kena ada satu compilation to capture because it's very apa dia panggil, too many silos.
Faham?
You know, at least kalau macam ni you get to sample, okay, this is the sound of current Malaysian, you know. So yelah, because macam kau cakap, dia meriah tapi silos. So it's hard bila kau put everything macam kau cakap lah, you put things into perspective.
But diorang macam diorang punya meeting point was the Basement Forum. So macam like right now kita macam dah tak ada lah that kind of like everybody go to that one place ke apa. Macam even RTB Raising the Bar pun dah tak ada. Before this it was every month. Ni macam tiap-tiap bulan macam aku confirm jumpa kau. Boleh buat lah time tu, tapi sekarang aku macam tak sure if somebody can go like DJ Khalid on this and macam boleh macam bro I need your verse on this ke apa, memang boleh lah kan. But now akan jadi lagi banyak lah. Aku rasa 40 track pun boleh kot satu CD lah.
Kita make it happen lah.
That will be fire, get everyone together. But this one semua orang yang fan of local hip hop memang kena try dengar. Even though macam I know it's like it will sound dated and lama, tapi this is history lah, for real. Aku beli dulu kat Eco Park lah. Sini aku kat Sungai Wang.
Tak ada dah kan Eco Park?
Ada
lagi ya?
Ada.
Lama nak pergi sana.
Tapi dia macam jual tak apa benda dia jual. Aku tak tahu. Cassettes I still have a few. Aku ada Teh Tarik Crew, What's Next, yang warna grey kan. I have that still.
Are we Rap Stars now kau ada?
Tak ada.
Itu aku masih mencari. Aku pernah find it anywhere tu.
Aku terlalu muda. Yo, ni aku tak pernah tengok langsung. Oh damn, I just realised they have a song called Lotus, which now like the new generation Force Part Boys pun ada lagu Lotus kan. Baru sedar. Naughtiest Maximus. I'm thankful I get to work with Spade on Bat Datang. He was from Naughtiest Maximus. And Lady D pun kita ada write song together. But all the members tak ada pernah jumpa kan.
Yeah, I think one of them, Mo, Kumran.
Kumran, yes, of course, pernah jumpa, correct. Kumran.
And then Illegal.
Illegal, of course, pernah jumpa. Yes,
so
correct. I pernah record at Platinum before they moved, the old Platinum.
Yeah,
Got a chance to record there.
Yes.
It was crazy.
Dia ada satu lagu Diss Track tau.
Lagu apa? In this?
Dah lah, apa tajuk lagu dia? Dia diss KRU, dia diss For You To See. Here Comes Trouble.
Here Comes Trouble. Oh.
I think Lady D first bar was Lady D. The hook tu was by Lady D.
Damn. Tapi Lady D was the singing and rapping. Tapi ada nyanyi juga kan?
That was
later.
later.
Rap kan?
Dengan
dalam
Naughty Max
Water
rap.
Billy baru dia ada nyanyi.
Dia bila apa nama grup dia? Dia yang berdua dalam
Okay, that one I don't know.
Positive Tone pun ada compilation Trick and Tales.
Trick and Tales pernah dengar tapi tak pernah.
Embers of Soul kot.
Yes.
Yeah. Embers of Soul. Yeah, Embers of Soul. Ni ada impact kat kau? Aku perasan ni dia tadi. When the album came out.
Masa awal-awal aku dengar benda ni kan, time tu kita macam on the MSN Messenger, member hantar file ke apa kan. I got a file of OK version without Cat. Malik was rapping Cat's verse. Yeah, I think I got that in MP3. Somebody sent me, I don't know when lah. I don't know who. Tapi time tu most of the stuff yang dalam ni macam dia macam main leak tau. So macam that got me excited of the project sebab macam lama tak drop kan. Tiba-tiba dia macam leak. Mamat ni pula ada macam lagu ni. Macam mana dia orang dapat? I think this is the project yang Malik found his new Malay style. Yeah. Which after that a lot of like local upcoming yang aku rasa dah tak ada pun dalam scene lah. Semua macam replicate lah. All the flows and the cara dia punya cadence semua kan. But this solidified Malik's Malay rap. Sebab macam kalau aku dengar Alhamdulillah, I think it's still the baku. But ni macam ni memang dah style Malik.
Itu Alhamdulillah was embryonic lah. This one dia dah found his voice lah.
Yes, especially VVS 1. Lagu ni very playful, it's a dope song. Tapi ni release indie, Karma Music lah. Was this the first Karma product?
Technically yes. Kejap aku ada benda trivia tu nak tunjuk kau.
Apa benda ni?
Kelakar.
Tak nampak tu ni. Engkau? Ha?
Ya.
Engkau? Weh, ni gambar tahun bila?
Masa album ni keluar, tak ada nak cakap tight dengan dia, but we were close lah somewhat. Masa when he was working on the album. So masa tu I think the office was Playtime lah. Playtime masa tu was somewhat, I think he rented a room or space dekat Playtime to have Kamal punya office.
Tapi projek ni fire sebab dia punya intro dengan outro dia. Starting dia ada diam, akhir dia ada diam. Uses a silent track.
Okay, aku tak nak kacau Saf, biar dia korek. Nanti kita tengok dia nak beli apa.
Yo, tap the microphone. AMPG, Rogue Squadron.
Okay, Saf dah pilih satu. So, you're going with this lah, tu
Yeah, dulu aku ada kaset. So, I'm going with the vinyl.
Next is the CD lah.
CD tak ada lagi. CD
Aku ada, nak beli. Aku resell kat kau.
Boleh, nanti upload kat Carousel. Oi, buat deal lah dalam ni.
So, Yeah, anyway, Saf, thank you so much for your time. It was a great conversation. Looking forward for the new stuff. So for the rest, kita jumpa next episode. Ciao.
Yang tak terserah menghabuk dalam seni alahai, macam motor panas semalam dah bye-bye. Belang yang nak ditunjuk.